So hear me out. What if there's a deck so meme-worthy, so funny, yet still be effective sometimes? Well, I'm telling you, that deck exists. In this video, I'm going to show you the ins and outs of the funny and infamous Slog deck. Now this funny guy, the guy that will tell you that
you're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
Is the main meme of this deck, is absolute.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick-ass boy. Damn.
Boy that almost never gets used finally gets his time to shine. Okay, let's get on to how the deck, actually works. So you got the nice Boons to Bones and Gun Haunt. So you take a Slog, or really any high mana card that's in your deck, specifically a creature. Then you tap Gun Haunt, play Traveling Meta, play Motivational, do 12 damage, easy up. Okay. Let's calm down a little bit. Let's start all the way back to the origin of this deck. Now many other card games have decks like this. Low mana, high attack creatures, and using high mana creatures to your advantage in later game. But the origin of this deck in Cards and Takers begins in a Tony Bidblind draft tournament. For those of you that don't know, Tony Bidblind's draft tournament is a draft tournament. You get to select cards from a random selection, and you have to try to make a deck with said selected cards. A guy named Raiderlo was once upon a time playing in one of these tournaments. He had selected his cards like usually and didn't get exactly what he wanted. A bunch of neutrals and some kind of oddball spells like Motivational Fervor and neutral cards like Avatar of Peace, aka the God of All Creatures, and you know his name, Sloth. Now Raider had an idea that then became the Slog deck. He put all these neutrals in his deck, threw Gun Haunt in, and he also put in some low mana, high attack creatures, and then boom, Slog was born. Now did he win the tournament? Sadly no. But, in his defense, this was a newly created deck that he made in like 5 minutes. But when people saw this deck and saw the potential, they immediately asked for it, wanting to improve on it and make it better than any other Slog deck before, going through a whole 5 different versions. And that if you played someone with Slog, it was like asking what version of deck they were playing on. I was one of those people taking the latest Slog deck from outdated and making some big changes, like adding 3 gold promotions, and that's it. Now that we know the origin, we can actually get onto the deck. The main things you need in this deck is Traveling Meta, high mana creatures to be specific, Sloth, Princess Champion, Magi, and Avatar of Peace. And of course, you need Gun Haunt and Boons to Bones to do Desperados. And there's also some things that are optional having the Slog deck. Like, I personally like to run gold promotions and Motivational Fervor, but you can change this however you want, and pretty much any cards that aren't in the main cards usually work in the Slog deck. Now, how difficult is this deck to use? Well, it really, and I mean really, depends on the person. Let's say, for a new player, they'll probably take a couple matches, depending on how familiar they are with card games, to really understand the point of the deck. Now to get on to some combos that I like to use that is in the deck. The first one being that I totally didn't mention about 3 times at this point, is Boons to Bones, a really high mana creature, then use Gun Haunt's ability and summon a high attack Desperado, then play a Traveling Medic. To give your Desperado, which according to its health and attack at the moment is equivalent to a 5-year-old holding the sharpest sword in the world, more health. Another combo I like to do is less of a combo and more of a, really a strategic play. If I have a gold promotions in my hand, I'll save it like a 9-year-old finding a quarter on his way to school so he can buy a piece of gum. Until the majority of my board is 5-man up creatures. Whenever my board is 5-man up creatures, whenever I play the gold promotions, it'll really make gold promotions useful because all my creatures will end up being rather 6, 7, or even 8 mana creatures, depending on what mana cost that I have on the board at the time. The real great thing about Slog is that it has a bunch of drawing spells on creatures like Dread Spearments and Monstrous Recruiter, just to name a few. So after about 4 mana, each turn you can play a big boy almost each turn, and watch your opponent slowly lose all hope. Now you may be asking to yourself right now, Why should you even bother playing Slog Debt? It sounds pretty meh compared to, the other meta debts in the game currently, like Lich Bam, Aggro, and Mastery. But I'm telling you this right now. You get an extra 5 cool boy points if you play this deck, and also, this can withstand the majority of debts, maybe around 2/3 of the time. And help with Lich Bam, is since you have such a high health and attack creatures, their high and attack creatures just cancel out with yours, and then you kind of just enter a stalemate once you kind of reach the later parts of the game. In this Mastery, if you keep attacking them, eventually you have to get rid of their Mastery creatures by blocking, because your creatures are so high attack that they don't want to just take that damage. In Aggro, if you can survive the first 4 turns, you pretty much counter it like any other deck would counter Aggro. You just need to survive the first 4 or 5 turns. Now remember, this is all my opinion, and you guys can have your own opinion on this deck. If you want the full deck list, my username on Discord is Quill, and the Cards and Tainter's Discord, and the link is in the description. I'll post my Slog deck and hashtag deck building. Also, shameless plug incoming. I host a tournament every Friday called Hunty Friday. So to join, hop into the Discord, within the events tab, to get full info on the tournament. Also, for the people that have made it to the end of the video, I'm going to be hosting a trivia night for Cards and Tainted sometime in the next 2 weeks. And be warned, some of the questions are going to be over the new faction Odd Order. So if you are interested, DM me. Now you know the ins and outs of a Slog deck.